even if the ad account fucks up, even if the video buying fucks up, I'm still making money. How much revenue have you guys done up until this point so far? Like what's the number, if you could say?
18,000 of that coming in the last 7 days.
How much are you guys taking home?
38% average.
Talk to me about the beginning there.
Everyone's selling the same one, but we kind of marketed ours as like 2.0. So anyone that's seen the product is assuming that ours is the newer and better version of that product.
All right, cool. So yeah, you guys are from Scotland. How long have you guys been doing e-commerce for again?
Just under about a year and a half.
Nice, man. Nice. So was your first point of contact in e-commerce, was that with us in Brandify, or was that like you trying it on your own and trying to see if you can make it work? Like, talk to me a little bit about like your guys' journey.
Yeah, so we started off trying to do organic. It was just about the ad spend at the start. When we're hearing people spend like £100 $100 a day on ads, we thought, well, that's a lot of money, before we really knew a lot about the game. So we started off doing organic, never didn't really get any results from it. And then we started doing ads, just doing meta ads, stuff like that. Nothing was really working, maybe getting the odd sale on each store. But we've seen a couple of your clips, and we liked the way you're talking about the exact business model of having it branded and creating a real brand out of it. And that we thought that sounds good. That's something we'd like to do. So then we looked at joining Brandify after that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny you say that, because a lot of people we've worked with, they started with organic. I would say like
Yeah.
a majority of the students that we have, they all kind of like started with organic. They realized like, okay, this is not the best model. You know, like there's definitely a better way to do it. And then they kind of they like the fact that I preach that like, hey, you can build a real brand, and that's really what like ropes people in. Because it's true, you know, like you really can't build a real brand with organic, because you can only go so far with it. When it comes to like, okay, so we have the timeline here. So you guys started with organic, it didn't really work. You joined Brandify, and I'm assuming you started testing better products, right? You started to kind of do the branded method. How long until you guys had that kind of first product hit? And what did that kind of look like?
Yeah, so it was probably after a few months after we joined, we'd been getting better results with stuff. So we'd been
Hmm.
then, instead of launching a store and getting no sales, we'd then be getting maybe a few sales. But every time we tested a store, we learned something new from it. So we didn't really get anything really that consistent up until maybe this point, which was about maybe 3 weeks ago when we launched this store. But
Hmm.
every call we went in, we had most of our calls with Adrian, who's helped us out a lot. Every call we went in, he kind of pointed us a bit in the right direction. It was mainly with creatives.
Hmm.
Creatives were the main problem. I think when we
Hmm.
look back at the creatives that we were coming up with organically, and then even at the start of Brandify, the difference is it's crazy.
Yeah. I think the whole game is creatives, right? Like I've said this a billion times, but it's like, to make this game work, you need to dial in creatives. Like a really good e-commerce brand is like kind of like it's kind of like a marketing agency, you know what I mean? Because you're just all you're focusing on is creatives and offer a bit. So yeah, definitely the emphasis on creatives. And talk to me about that first success you guys had. So obviously you guys are doing well with the brand. You scaled up pretty good. And then you know you're obviously going to continue to work at it and continue to scale it. Talk to me about like that initial success with it. When you tested the product, did it work right away? Do you have to keep testing new ads? Like talk to me about the beginning there.
So when we started, the main thing we noticed was like the instant difference of results. From going from
Hmm.
that kind of 1 2 sales a day, we could tell that we had like the winning model. Yeah, and the
Hmm.
thing is as well, the product that we're selling just now, we tested this out because we know it does well, because we only sell in the UK just now.
Hmm.
And it was, we know this product does well, and we tested it out before we joined Brandify, and we get a
Hmm.
few sales, but we ended up, it was coming to kind of winter again. We were like, we know it does especially well at this sort of time of the year. So we went like, well, why don't we try and do it again, but do everything we've learned from Brandify, all the different types
Hmm.
of ads, all of that stuff, the layouts, the offers, and then that's what's made it work for us. Just the difference
Hmm.
with being Brandify. It allowed us to see what our competitors weren't doing. They weren't
Hmm.
using the methods that are in Brandify, like the AI stuff. They weren't relying on that at all. So we saw that gap as a chance to really kind of push forward and try and scale up.
That's really smart. And yeah, I mean, the AI stuff is huge, man. I always ask people this, and I'll ask you guys, like, where do you think you guys would be in e-commerce right now if it wasn't for AI?
I think a lot further back. I think from
Hmm.
everything from product research to product images and especially creatives. I mean,
Hmm.
the wide amount of creatives that you can create and test using AI is like it's
It's
different.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like, and if you don't have it, it's like whoever in the competition has it ends up becoming the one that
Yeah.
wins, right? So it's
You
really
can't
good that you
compete.
guys utilize that. How much revenue have you guys done up until this point so far? Like, what's the number, if you could say?
So from 16 days launched, we've just crossed $23,000. 18,000 of that coming in the last 7 days.
Nice, nice, nice. So, what's the daily average on that? Like a couple grand a day, or
Yeah, because
so?
all our stuff's in is in pounds, but in dollars. I mean, yesterday was it's just we're just kind of bumping the budget up 20% each day. So
Mhm.
yesterday would have been about $3,000.
Nice. So you did $3,000 yesterday. That's really good. What's the margin? So how much are you guys taking home?
So about 38% average. But we have
Oh
noticed
wow.
that when we're when we're bumping the budget up and we are getting the higher revenue, the more sales, we do notice that it is dropping a bit because right at the very start it was like
hmm
45%. But we know that is normal when you usually scale a product up. So
hmm
we have noticed that.
So the baseline is always going to be 30%. So
Yeah.
there's like a mathematical thing where it's like if you're at 30%, you're not because there's always an inverse effect where the higher you scale, the lower your margin goes. So it's usually 30% is like that sweet spot to where you're scaling just enough and your margin's at the perfect place. Is your guys' product a replenishable product, meaning like people can use it multiple times and they
Yeah.
can buy more? So are you guys doing any sort of subscription on it?
No, it's maybe not as such actually replenishable. But people do buy quite a few of them.
You have to find a way to do a subscription on it. I mean, regardless, you could just add like a subscribe and save 5%, whatever it may be, but you definitely need a subscription on it. I would say one of the first things you guys need to do is add a subscription to it. And then off the bat, start pushing harder on the ads. So even if it brings down your margin, let's say you're making, you scale the ads harder. Let's say you're down to, let's say 10 to 20% margin. So you're like half margins, but you're acquiring subscribers every single day when next month comes around, now your profit's going to be basically double, right? So off the
Makes sense.
bat, these are like two things you guys need to do in your situation is add subscriptions and then scale more on ads. When you guys are scaling, what's your creative output look like right now? How many creatives are you guys launching a day?
About 10 a day. 10 a day is what we aim
Okay.
for minimum.
Yeah, I would say definitely scale them because if you're launching 10 a day and you're not pushing ad spend, sometimes you'll have a winning creative that never hits the surface because you're not giving it enough spend. So you definitely shouldn't hold back on the spend. If you guys are again like 20 like we operate our brands at 20 to 30% margins. But then we have, recurring revenue coming in from subscription that really keeps us afloat. But yeah, you want to do like 20 to 30% margins, add subscriptions when you can, and that's like the baseline. And that's, you'll beat all the competitors because you're beating them on the content side of things. You have better output, better content with AI. You're beating them on the offer, right? Because you have subscribers. So now you actually have like real LTV. And like those two things alone, like no one's going to be able to compete with you. It's be very hard.
Yeah, and with the budget as well, do you recommend just going up 20% each day? Or would you
Mhm.
recommend that because we're getting good results now, would you put it even higher than that?
Yeah, you could do 20% 3 times a day. I would say
Yeah.
that's a max. Like if you bump 3 times a day, that's pretty fine. I would say, yeah, you guys need to be pushing budgets way harder. The last thing you want is somebody to come in there and push harder than you and then kind of like eat you out the market, right?
Yeah.
So that's the last thing you want. And then I'm assuming it's supplements you guys are selling
No,
mainly.
it's not actually a supplement. No, we tested out quite a few supplements and all that sort of stuff, and that's what we were originally trying to get into. But
hmm
it's just a product that we found probably about 8 months ago that we know was doing well, and we know we've seen people doing good numbers on it before, and we just had
hmm
a look at it again, and we saw their sort of ads and what they're running, and we just thought,
hmm
well, we can make them way better than that. We can make a way better offer just from the stuff we've learned in Brandify. So we
That's
just
really
kind of
good.
took them on a little bit, and it's what we've done as well with the tight. It's like an electronic thing. So everyone's selling the same one, but we kind of marketed ours as like 2.0. So anyone that's
hmm
seen the product is assuming that ours is the newer and better version of that product they've already seen from other
hmm
companies. So that was our kind of way we marketed it.
That's very smart, yeah, because essentially, if you differentiate the product in some way from the other competitors, even if it's the same thing, that always helps. It always
Yeah,
helps. But that indicates that you're selling to a warmer market, so it's like a double-edged sword. So when you sell to a warmer market, it caps out faster. Whereas like when you're selling to a new market, they don't know. You definitely need to add the subscribe on there because like right now, what you guys are doing is you're capturing what we call parabolic scale. So you have the ability to go up and then down. But if you can capture MRR at the top, that's going to kind of keep you afloat while you try out new ad styles and try out new things. So that's monumentally important. What are some questions you guys have right now? Like what are some, if any, or any like struggles you guys have right now that
Yeah,
you're trying to get past?
one of the things was as well, because we're only selling in the UK just now, and we know
Hmm.
obviously America is a massive market, and there is some other markets that we'd like to go into as well, but we don't know if it's too, would you say it's too early just now? Do you think we should wait till we've kind of reached maybe a ceiling in the UK or before we go on to like selling in America?
So right now you guys are selling in what markets again? Just remind me one more time.
It's only the UK.
Yeah, but we've noticed that our competitors are in Australia and the US as well.
Some European countries.
I would try campaign top four, like a top four, like US, UK, Australia, Canada. Um, I would try it, and if it doesn't work, don't stress about it too much. Because either if you're doing UK or top four, it doesn't matter. If it's gonna work, it's gonna work, right? So I would try it, see how it goes, but don't trust too much about that.
Yeah, yeah. And the other question I had as well is with Black Friday coming up, this because this is the first Black Friday I've actually had a product that's doing well, and we really kind of want to capitalize in on it. But
Hmm.
how would you lay out that would, so we've got the one CBO with just all our ads in it. With Black
Hmm.
Friday, we've made sort of similar ads because we run quite a lot of static ads that perform really well for us. Would
Hmm.
you say just bring it everything in a new CBO? It's just the Black Friday stuff.
Yeah, so the best way to go about a seasonal sale is really straightforward. You'll basically duplicate everything that you're doing to a new lander in the same ads but edited CTA. So like for example, you'll take your landing page right now, whatever it is, I don't exactly know, but whatever it is, you'll take the landing page, you'll make a new duplicate landing page that says like early Black Friday sale and then your product name. So it's like in the title. It'll actually be discounted, let's say like 5 to 10%, but you'll say it's like a 50% discount.
Yeah,
And now you have your early Black Friday landing page. Then what you're going to do is you're going to create a new campaign and you're going to add all your top ads in there. So like all the top ads, but an edited caption, like the ad caption that says like early Black Friday sale. And then you're going to make some new ads as well, which are need to be very similar to your current winners, but with just edited CTAs that say like early Black Friday sale. So now you have like a separate campaign, which has separate creatives in it and obviously the separate landing page. And then that ideally should have a lower CPA. I will say though that before you do your Black Friday sale, be sure to add a subscription to everything. So off that Black Friday traction, you're getting getting recurring revenue.
yeah, yeah. And then the other question I had as well was about the kind of campaign setup. So usually when
Hmm.
we're testing out stuff, we're doing the way you done it in Brandify, where you had your one CBO, you're targeting the angle, then you'd have other CBOs targeting other angles. You just launch them out in day one, day two, day three. And we also looked at doing as well, because I've seen people talking about this works pretty well. You have the one CBO, multiple ad sets, and you give all the ad sets like a 50% budget, a
Hmm.
minimum spend, and then 50% goes to each ad set and another 50% Facebook decides. But with this one, because we'd already tested this before, we ended up just putting all our ads. So we've got one campaign for statics, one campaign for videos, and we've just got one ad set in it with just all the videos and all the ads. I don't think it's laid out as well as it should be, but because
Hmm.
this is the kind of first one we've got that's doing pretty well, I'm hesitant at touching anything and making any changes. What would you
I think
recommend me to do?
I think right now you guys need to push budget regardless. So when you push budget, you'll get more clarity. Meaning that like if you're only doing 120% bump a day, you're not really like letting it spend enough. So you have to do multiple a day. And in terms of the media buying structure, it doesn't matter too much because the thing is an ad that doesn't spend, that's a losing ad. That doesn't mean that Facebook did a bad job and didn't like do its, Meta didn't push spend to it because Meta's messed up. It just means that like Meta didn't like it, and that means it's not a good ad. So either strategy works, man. It really doesn't work. It really doesn't matter too much. I've noticed that like you can take a winning creative and a winning offer, and you can put that same like equation into any different media buying strategy, any different ad account. If it's going to work, it's going to work, right? So I would
Yeah.
say like whatever you guys have right now is fine. Just push budget, see how it goes, and that's basically it. Yeah, I don't think that the media buying doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, because we do have quite a lot of videos and statics that don't have too much of a spend on it, but I wasn't sure because I know people say that they end up turning off an ad in an ad set and the whole campaign doesn't perform as well.
Yeah, I
So,
wouldn't kill that. I definitely do not go into the micro side of things and like kill specific ads because
yeah,
you don't really know what's happening in the back end, right? Like you can like really nerd out about it and look at the frequency and look at all that stuff, or you can just let it do its thing. And it's always better to let it do its thing, right? Because like again, like ads have frequency. So for example, you don't have a winning ad, you have a winning ad library. So like if you bought from my store, you might see one of my UGC ads, and then you see like an AI creator, and then you see a static, and then you buy. And then the purchase is only contributed to the static, whereas the customer saw these other two ads before buying from the static. So again, like a lot of the times as an e-com brand owner, you might find that statics end up getting more purchases at a better CPA. You might be like, oh, statics are doing better. No, it's just that statics are at the bottom of the funnel typically because they have the
Yeah,
lowest CPMs. So that's kind of how it works. So yeah, definitely don't cut specific ads that you don't want to do that.
yeah. And one of the other things as well was some of the complaints with some of the customers we've had were moaning
Mhm.
about the tracking numbers being like Chinese tracking numbers. With your stores, do you use the last mile tracking number
So
to
we,
get
yeah,
suppliers to do that?
we've eventually brought in US inventory for the majority of our brands. So like
Yeah,
we
makes
were
sense.
fine there. Initially, I think there's a way around it. If you ask, I'm assuming using Best Refill. So if you
Yeah,
ask Best Refill, that I think they have a way around it. I'm pretty sure I've been through the same rodeo before. They can give you a dud tracking number and then it changes to a real one. And when it hits the US or something like that, there's always a way around it.
yeah, yeah. It, what do you recommend? What revenue would you think we get to before we start like customizing and kind of like private labeling the actual product itself?
hmm I would say you want to do at least 500,000 in revenue, and you want to still be doing good days. So like after, let's say you hit the 500,000 mark, and then you also are doing a consistent, let's say like 5+ K days, you can go ahead and invest in that. And then also again, if you add the subscription, you guys will start to have recurring revenue coming in regardless, which gives you like that, I guess, peace of mind that you know you're gonna be fine. We're actually building out a subscription app as well for you guys, so that'll be really cool for you to use. It's like super good protected payments, protected subscriptions and shit. So you guys have like more like base like clarity on what's happening. You guys are in a really good position. I think you definitely need to push spend a little bit more.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. When you add the subscription and then you push spend, you're going to get like at least like even if let's say everything shits to bed, you still are gaining recurring revenue. Like nowadays, what we'll do for some of our brands, we'll just go break even for like 2 months, and then now we have like 500,000 in recurring revenue, and we can do whatever we want. So you kind of give yourself that cushion of like, okay, even if the ad account fucks up, even if the media buying fucks up, I'm still making money, right? Which is really, really important. But yeah, no, I think you guys are in a good position. You guys are probably, especially pre Q4, doing like decent numbers just by adding the Black Friday sale properly. You should already, skyrocket. So that should definitely be helpful. Really quick, so I got to ask you some questions on my side. How's Brandify been so far?
yeah, yeah. It's good. Really enjoyed all the coaching calls. It's good being like kind of one on one or like two on one with someone that's obviously like smashing it in ecom. That really helped us because there's just so many little things that we wouldn't even really think about that Adrian would point out. Because one of the things we had at the start was our scripts were sounding a bit too like ChatGPT, and Adrian could
hmm
tell just straight away by listening to it. So the minute we managed to get a kind of system in place for just making sure it doesn't sound like that. And
hmm
we showed Adrian it, and he was like, "That sounds so much better." And the minute he said that, everything did perform a bit better as well.
I think as
hmm
well, having gone through it, the it's tailored for all levels. So no matter kind of what stage you're at, you can definitely get a lot of value from it.
That's really good. That's really good. And like, I guess in terms of the AI stuff, right? Because I know you guys were talking about that earlier. How important is that AI stuff that you guys living in Brandify? How important is that stuff in the business right now?
Completely transformed everything. I think seeing
hmm
that in the course was eye-opening, and it completely changed the way we made creatives going
Yeah.
forward.
hmm
And the performance afterwards, it was clearly kind of paid its fruits.
Yeah, and even doing your research into your customers, your avatars as well, yeah, just finding out who exactly we're selling it to and what exactly this product we've got can help people with. It's really good for identifying that as well.
It's crucial if
hmm
you want to compete. Really,
100%. Yeah, you need it. You need it nowadays. It's either you don't have it and you lose, or you have it and you win. That's why we kind of switched the whole focus of the community to focus on AI because it's like, look how important we're doing it. We make sure everyone else is doing it as well. So that's huge. That's huge. And then last one, would you recommend Brandify to anyone who is trying to get e-commerce to work?
Yeah, no, definitely. There's everything you need in the course, and then you've also got the calls every week with someone. You've got the kind of big group calls, and you've got the kind of more kind of one-on-one calls as well with the coaches. So it really helps.
I think the community as well is a big part. I think seeing
hmm
everybody doing well, it's like encouraging. in a good way. It's good competition.
Yeah, because we remember first joining and we're looking at the wins, yeah, the wins section straight away, and we're seeing people doing like 10K a day, all these crazy numbers. And I remember we are just thinking to ourselves that we need to get there one day.
100%. It's motivating, bro. It's definitely
Yeah.
motivating. Yeah, I think like daily, we're doing like a calculation right now. Like daily student revenue between everybody is like, I think it's like 300K plus if we add like the coaches in there and stuff. That's not even with my stores too. If we had my stores in there, like we're getting closer to like 500,000 a day between everybody. That's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's like, you kind of join in like this pool of like all these other people killing it, and it's like it's kind of hard not to. But yeah, we'll always do our best to like update stuff because stuff always changes, right? And like I have to be transparent with that. Like there's some of the stuff that we teach now might go outdated, and we have to find new stuff to teach you guys. So we're always going to try and find new stuff and like keep doing new stuff. But no, I appreciate you guys a lot.
That was all from us. We appreciate your time and we enjoy Brandify a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Likewise, bro. Likewise. All right. Well, if you guys need anything, just let me know. And yeah, keep me posted how everything goes. I'll be sure to follow up with the coaches and whatnot to see how you guys are going in your journey. And if there's ever like a point where I feel like, okay, hey, maybe we can like, even invest in your store or do something cool like that, we'll be sure I'll be sure to hit you guys up through the coaches.
Yeah, appreciate that.